Hey everyone, it's time to explore a city with a beautiful horizon. I mean, seriously, even the moon blushed in embarrassment when it saw the splendor of Barcelona. Trust me, you won't believe your eyes when you witness the stunning architecture, vibrant culture, and picturesque landscapes. Every year, a huge number of tourists come here. Let's get right to the Spanish chase. Also, don't forget to click the like button. It's free. Starting my list with the National Art Museum of Catalonia. It's a great place to see Catalan art if you're in Barcelona. This museum has a collection of media art from the 1950s to the present day. So, in addition to sculptures and paintings, you can see examples of films, posters, architecture, and photos. If you have time, climb from Plaça d'Espanya to the museum for an amazing view of the whole city. Spend some time looking at the building too. It's an important part of the city, and you'll be able to take some great pictures in front of it. Aside from that, you can just walk around and look at the art, especially the Catalan works, which are rarely seen outside of Barcelona. There is a square outside the museum near the National Palace. You'll see these two columns and this very busy intersection. As you walk up to the National Palace, which is now the Catalonia Art Museum, there are a lot of ponds. You can also see a theater close by. The next stop is Parc Güell. Now, this one is on Carmel Hill, with the idea of making the area more livable in mind. 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 Güell designed the park to the Spanish planner Antoni Gaudí. The park was built in 1900, and in 1984, UNESCO put the park on the list of works of Antoni Gaudí as a World Heritage Site. Today's park is spread out over 42 acres and has everyday park features with a twist that is very Gaudí. Here, there is only one long, wavy stone bench with tiles and a view of the ocean. You'll also find many beautiful paths that wind through green plants, down tiling-covered stairs, and through jagged stone caves and columns. Don't miss the chance to see the 𝗓𝗏 𝗵𝗶𝗏 while you're here. The 𝗓𝗏 𝗵𝗶𝗏 was meant to be a market when it was first built. Today, its only purpose is to impress tourists with its tall stone columns and beautiful mosaics, which you can find all over the roof. The Casa Museu Gaudí, Gaudí's old home turned into a museum, and the Tour de la Tres Cruces, a high point in the park's southwestern corner with great views of the city. It's Casa Batlló at 8 o'clock. A well-known Catalan builder, Antoni Gaudí, did his best work in the details of the Casa Batlló. This is probably the most well-known flat by Gaudí in Barcelona, a UNESCO World Heritage spot too. It's known for its bright colors, detailed tile work, and skeleton-like balconies. In particular, the roof shows the dragons scaled back, while the skeletal staircases and bony windows are said to be the dragon's past victims. We'll go inside to see the equally impressive interiors, including the royal floor where the Batlló family used to live. When people went to Casa Batlló, they thought it was a beauty. Even though it may be tempting to stay outside and look at the features of the house for free, many tourists say it's well worth the extra money to go inside and see what's there. Next, we are now going to visit Montjuïc. At the top of a mountain in Barcelona is this beautiful castle. These fortifications date all the way back to 1640. It was built on the site of an old Jewish graveyard. This is how it got its name, Montjuïc, which means Mountain of Jews. The hill is 213 meters above sea level and has a castle called Castell de Montjuïc on top of it. The land slopes steeply down to the water. The Parc de Montjuïc, a lovely nature park with great views, is the cherry on top of this beautiful place. Anyway, this is a great day trip to get away and see some beautiful scenery. How can you get here? Yes, you can take the cable car. It will only take you 5 minutes. That's something we'll show you later. You could also just walk up the hills from the bottom. Next is a big public market in Barcelona's old city, the Boqueria Market. It's heaven for foodies. It's one of the city's most popular tourist spots, and you can get there from La Rambla. The market opened in 1840 and was Barcelona's first local market. However, the city's food history goes back much further than that. The name comes from the Catalan word boc, which means goat. This means that a boqueria is a place that sells goat meat. You could try some fresh veggies or any other real market treat. You can enjoy the bright colors and tempting smells of fresh fish, meats, vegetables, fruits, and sweets, as well as fruit drinks and wines. While you're there, don't forget to buy some Spanish favorites like jamón, manchego cheese, and salted cod or bacalao. Bars and restaurants are also in and around the market, so there are lots of places to eat here. Next is Ciutadella Park. It was built in the 1800s. This park was the only green area in the city for many years. The park covers about 77 acres. This is one of my favorite ponds ever. It's so calm and peaceful. You can also enjoy rowing boat. The grounds are big and it opens at 10 a.m. for people who want to get an early start. There are many trees that are over 100 years old. The park also has a big waterfall, buildings from the 1800s that are now museums, the Catalan Parliament, a big fountain, paths, and many sculptures. The city zoo also uses the same land. Arc de Triomphe was built as the main entrance to the Barcelona World Fair in 1888 and is very close to the park. At 𝗕ป์𝗁𝗂𝗶𝗶𝗵, 1.2 kilometers long street in the middle of Barcelona, La Rambla pedestrian walkway. Every day, thousands of people walk along it and enjoy the scene. It was built in 1766. But the street is also known for con artists and crooks. People often call Barcelona the pickpocket capital of the world. During the day, you can look at souvenir shops, watch buskers and other street performers, buy local art from street vendors, or have a snack. There are many bars and clubs nearby, so this is a good place to start your night out when the sun goes down. You'll see some beautiful views in Barcelona Beach, though, and I promise you that just being there will help you meet someone new. This is without a doubt one of the best things to do in Barcelona. The beach can get very crowded in the summer. Of course, people also come here to hang out with friends, unwind, play volleyball, or even sail. I tell people all the time to go early, so you may hear me say it a lot. You can spend a lot of time at this beach and people trying to sell you things. But that's always the case at beaches in Europe. Then there's 𝗕ป์𝗁𝗂𝗶𝗵, another one right here in the middle. There is also a big casino right on the beach. In general, Barcelona's beaches are very safe. There aren't any dangerous currents or big waves, so the water is a nice shade of blue and the mood is very relaxed. The beaches in Spain tend to get better as you go further south, especially as you get closer to the Straits of Gibraltar. The Gothic Quarter is the oldest and right in the middle of Barcelona. It has all the famous old European streets and alleys. Along with the fewer tourists, the narrow, twisting streets can make it hard to find your way around. But the huge church in the middle of the neighborhood is one of the best places to visit. It has a beautiful courtyard full of plants. In the square, you can see marks from when someone attacked the church. Plaça Sant Jaume is another important square. It has been the seat of Catalonia's government since the Middle Ages. You'll definitely end up in Plaça de la Cathedral if you go to the Barcelona Cathedral. But don't miss Playa Real and the much smaller and kosher Plaça de Sant Felip Neri, which was bombed by Francisco Franco during the Spanish Civil War. No matter where you go in the Gothic Quarter, tourists say that the Spanish beauty will charm you for a long time. If you want to learn about the past of the area, you should go on a walking tour. Next, the Catholic Church of the Sacred Family, La Sagrada Familia, comes in at number 5. It's a tall Gothic-style church with a twist. Catalan Art Nouveau master Antoni Gaudí worked full-time on building La Sagrada Familia. It was built from 1882 until his death in 1926. Even so, he still couldn't finish. People knew Gaudí as the man who said, "My client, God, is in no hurry." It's still going on right now and should be done by 2026. Part of La Sagrada Familia is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, along with 6 other buildings by Gaudí in Barcelona. Though it may seem strange, the Sagrada Familia is not only Gaudí's most famous work, but also his best. There will be a long line outside of Sagrada Familia if you want to go inside. If you buy the tickets online, you can skip the line. There are some Gothic elements in the church, but there are also many unusual features that make it stand out from the rest and has some really beautiful painted glass windows. The result is an impressive and unique building. It's in the northern part of the city. At more than 170 meters tall, its 18 thin towers tower over all the other buildings and make it stand out. This is one of the most unusual buildings in Europe. It is an amazing structure that takes up most of the skyline in this Catalan city. Since the church in the Champlain area of the city has won more awards than buildings like the Colosseum in Rome and the Empire State Building in New York. These are the 10 best places to visit in Barcelona. Tell us in the comments, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Also, if you click on the videos in the text, you'll see that I made a list of the 10 best places in Europe to visit. So if you want to go to Europe and haven't seen that video yet, you should definitely do so. I'll put a link in the description below. We'll see you soon.